Welcome back to Project Buddies. Video 9, I believe. So we're working on the flooring now. So the first step we got to do is we're going to start over by the door and move back. So we'll get started. And hope you enjoy. Like and subscribe and make comments. So let's start on the flooring. So the first piece we're putting in is going to be around the door. So I literally took the door and put it up. So we have, I notched out a little area just to get around this piece. Now this threshold goes over the flooring, or goes over where the floor is. So I think what I'm actually going to do is notch that out and cut a piece so that I can fit the floor. I can still fit this in there and screw it down, but that the floor will go around it. So we'll get started with that. So how I'm doing this is a whole sheet here. That is 12.5 inches over there. So I put my slide rule down and marked off where 12.5 inches was. And then I took my utility knife and scored it quite a few times. And then you can just snap it off and link it in. So I notched around this section here and there, and then I will make a template of how big we need that section to go underneath the threshold. So one thing that I do is also, if I need to cut off little sections, I'll use these vice grips, and I'll score the part about 5 times for where I want to go, and then you can use a utility knife just to sort of clean up some areas, but it comes out pretty clean, and use a straight edge obviously. So I'm using this as a template and running it to the edge, and then I put my my pencil underneath there, and I just made a line so that I know where to score it, and I can draw a line to the edge so I know how far to go. Okay, change of plans. That was just really not working out as well as I thought, so I think I'm going to take an easier way to do it, and I'll start on that wall. That way I'm not starting out cutting out something. I'll just need to match up wood or boards when we get down here. So let's take an easier route. Sorry, sometimes that's the way it works. The stuff's not hard to work with. The challenge I have is that threshold doesn't have enough movement that I can slide something into it. So maybe I might notch out a section of it so that I can slide the flooring down into it, but I'll just have to rethink that one. I think it will just be fine if I just go this route. Either way, you're going to wind up with I'll have to deal with that with sometimes. So let's start over. Well, we're starting on it, and one of the challenges I first have is getting around the wheel well, which shouldn't be a problem, and I just need to figure out what the cut is. So we'll keep getting going. At least we got some down. I think the flooring matches the paneling pretty good. The one thing I didn't tell you guys earlier is a lot of the work I was doing in the past videos was without my headlamp, because I couldn't find it. So it was becoming more of a marker incident than anything. So I did find that in my toolbox, and I must have looked there tons of times, but you know how that works. So one thing that I did do is I cut a hole over there for a hose, just in case we ever put something in here that requires a sink and we need some water. So I just used an old hose we had that I know usually the red's for hot water, but I'm just using a hose, so trying to make it economical. So back to putting some flooring down. So we have 2 boards down almost. One thing that you need to know on these is as you're doing it, here's a seam here. So as you start a new row, you should start out with a scrap piece of the other that has an end piece, such as this part. This is the end piece that you match into, so that you stagger things as they go. And it just clips right in. So we're making progress. Well, this is what it looks like so far. I'm going to call it a night. So we'll get working on it another day. So we'll get back at it. But I think it's coming along pretty well. There's been some areas that have been a little trickier than others. But it's you know, not everything's square like a house and all that, or perfect. So, but it's coming along. I'm really liking it. So we'll get back at it another day. I don't think tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday. I'm going to take Sunday off, and it's already 6 o'clock. So that's it for right now. Okay, so I'm sort of trying to multitask, I guess, just to get some things done before I can finish working on the floor. It snowed here yesterday, so what I'm doing is I am painting the cabinet area. We're painting it with a cabinet white that we've used on other stuff, so that's what I'm just trying to do, try to get some other stuff done while I work on other things. Okay, so we're back at it, and one thing that I did notice in the past is that I need to get the camera up a little bit more, because I think you guys are looking at my nostrils a lot. So it's about 36 degrees out. It's been quite cold weather, but I'm getting back at the flooring. I've got about one box digging into the second box. One thing that you will notice, I did buy some new lighting or lights. So I bought some LED lights, and those are making a world of difference. So we don't have all the yellowish look. So we'll get at it and we'll keep going. I'm still making progress on painting of the interior furniture parts. Got lots of that done. I'm using some cabinet paint that I had left over. It's taking quite a few coats just to try to cover the brown, but it's working out well. So hopefully I'll be able to get the flooring in and then start laying out the furniture, and it'll start making a world of difference. So let's get back at it. I don't remember if I showed this to you before, but on cutting these pieces, you measure out the section that you have. I know this one I need to have is 23 3/4. So I just go and I mark a little dot, and then I'll take my straight edge and get everything out of the way, if I can. And I just put the straight edge up against it, and then I use my utility knife and I just go straight across there. And then I'll show you how I crack it. So I'm using my headgear for the camera. So I just take this spot, I score it about 10 times. That way I make sure that I'm getting through it. I think that's 10. So then I take it off to the edge and I just crack it, and I take the knife and cut the rest of it off, and I'll use that for later, and then I'll put it down onto the floor. So then what I do with this remaining piece is I take it and I start my new row, and I'm trying to tuck it as much underneath there as I can, and then I keep going. That way you're getting your getting it all of it set up properly, and you're not wasting pieces. So hopefully that helps, just to show what I'm doing. So the way that I put this in, you just line it up into its spot and you slide it down till it clicks, and oops, gotta make sure that that edge is in right, and then it will click into place. It's a little tough to do as you're going, because once you start bending it down, it sort of locks itself in place. So that's how we get that into place, and the other part will, the next row will keep holding it down. So hopefully that sort of helps. So I'm just going to point out, they have requirements of how big the next starter piece should be. So this is only like a ½ inch. You don't want to start with that. I think the requirement is like 1 inch or more, probably way more than that. But so always start with a bigger piece. I just happen on this cut to have a very small piece, so I just thought I'd point that out. So I just want to show where I am. I just pulled out the last box, so sort of one of those of you're praying that you've got enough. But I think it's looking really well so far. So I hope that you're liking what you're seeing. So I'll try to get the rest of this box down. I know over here by the door it's going to be a little trickier. I'm trying to, sorry, I had to look at my phone. I'm thinking maybe what I might do is router out a small section of underneath there, because the screws are long enough that they'll still go down, but then I could tuck a piece underneath it. So that's what I'm sort of thinking. I know at the beginning of the video I was doing that and I was cutting around it, but I was just afraid that I was going to have some areas where there's going to be gaps. I'm not a fantastic carpenter, so it's one of those that you got to try to do what you can do. I just seem to not get exactly the tightest fit, so, or the closest fit, and I don't want any gaps. We're as few as I can get. So we're gonna keep going. Probably gonna quit soon because it's getting close to dinner time, so I'll get done as much as I can for right now, and we'll go from there. I think I say that a lot, but we're going to go from there. Well, this is where I got so far, and it's about time to call it a night, because I got to go in to eat. And it's a good cliffhanger. So I think it's looking really good. As you can see over here, I'm going to have to notch out a piece because that's going to be smaller than what I've got as far as the width. So I've only got about, I would say 2 rows left. I hope I have enough wood. I think I do. Yeah, I hope so. So we'll get going from there, and try to make sure you're not seeing up my nostrils. And so I think I'm going to stop this as a video and post it, leave it as a cliffhanger. So we'll go from there, but thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and leave any comments. Doesn't matter if you want to give a helpful hint, or if you just want to say, hey Tom, you're doing a good job, or hey Tom, you're doing a not so good job, or whatever. Or you could say, hey, I love your new channel. So anyway, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm having a lot of fun doing this project. I like doing a lot of the other projects as well, but this one's one of those that you can really see the progress you're making. You know, the knob and tube stuff that I posted earlier, yeah, most of it is it's all hidden because the wires are hidden behind walls, etc. So so we'll see you on the next video. Thanks again. Bye-bye.